here we go. Another of our women's matches with Liu Fei and Elizabeta Samara.
Liu Fei, new to the T2 system, only 23 years old. Isn't on the world ranking currently, but I'm sure in the next few months or so will appear on the new list.
And Elizabeta Samara, currently ranked at 30. She's been as high as 13 and walked away as the European team champion last week. So congratulations to her and everyone involved in Team Romania. And again, it's Kaharu Hizami of Malaysia who is joining us.
Time.
Best seat in the house for him.
First game, Samara of Team Rossi to serve. Love all.
So the lefty from Romania to get us started. Attack against defence.
Love one.
It always means it's going to be exciting, isn't it?
And interestingly, it's the attacker who wins, or the defender who wins the first attacking point of the game.
Love. Three. Love.
In the European game, Samara is one of the stronger players against the defense style.
Love four.
You can hear some oohs and ahs from the knowledgeable crowd already. You see how many times Liu Fei chops the ball from underneath the height of the net.
Six. Love.
Liu Fei running away with the opening set, leading 6-0. Not showing any signs of nerves in her first T2 appearance.
We wondered if choppers would fare well in the T2
Seven.
cavern,
Love.
and they have. Juicy Hook in the men's side has done really well, chopping his way to success over the first 3 rounds.
Let's not forget, of course, Wu Yang in the opening stages for the women's game,
Love eight.
winning some superb matches.
One. Eight.
Samara gets on the board.
Samara was chatting to us yesterday about her neck being quite tight. The amount of matches that she's played at the European Championships, that wear and tear. She's not a young pup anymore.
Ten.
It's a great mix of attacking and defending from Liu Fei. Shows great skill when defenders can turn and attack.
Let. 10. 1.
Ooh, a little bit of controversy there. Net cord called by Liu Fei. Samara not believing it, asking the umpire, "Did you see it?" And the umpire honestly went, "No." But the play was stopped, so it was only fair to replay the point.
Always find it intriguing to watch the mannerisms of your Roscoff.
Time.
Samara saying, got a bit of a sore neck. And he was like, yeah, but you can look the ball, can't you? That's all you get from Roscoff. Get in
Second
there,
game.
toughen
Liu
up,
of Team JJ to
try
serve.
your best. That's
Love
what he wants.
all.
Yep, it's exactly what he got from his team from the European Championships in Team Germany. Everyone playing their part.
One, love.
Your Groskov just signaling, come on, get the feet moving, get into position.
Love, 2.
Just not reading the serve of Liu Fei. Popping the ball up yet again on receive.
Wonderful
Love,
patience
3.
from the Chinese player. Knowing when to attack, knowing when to defend, and where to defend the ball to keep yourself in the point. It's a really tough skill, and one that she's making look rather easy so far.
Lovely forehand from Liu Fei. And a lot of you at home thinking the name Liu Fei may not mean so much. That's because China has a plethora of players playing on the World Tour. And difficult for these players aged between 18 and 25 to get
2,
on
4.
the winning stage when you've got such an elite team in front of you.
There's always benefits and drawbacks of playing for a very strong team.
2,
And
4.
likewise, playing for a very weak team as well. Benefits and drawbacks too.
3, 4.
There's a lot of hand feeling there, the way she's able to just cut underneath the ball. Keep the racket light in her hand as well, but not so much that the racket flies out of her hand.
Six, 3. Three, 7. Four, 7.
Well played, Samara there. Adding in a little high bluff in the middle of that rally. Changing it slightly.
Eight, 4.
Samara faring a little bit better in this second set, just not enough to put Liu Fei under any serious pressure.
It's always intriguing, these 24-minute matches and how they pan out, who wins, who loses. But it'd be also interesting to hear from everyone out there watching this. You can write to me
9,
at
4.
Gavin Rumgay TT on Twitter. Fire us in some questions, and also to at Ashley Given as well. Tell us what you're thinking of this whole thing. Do you like the 24-minute matches?
Who are your favourite players?
4-10.
And what do you even make of a point like that there? Lovely reactions from the 23-year-old Liu Fei.
11-4. Second game to Liu of Team JJ. Match break 1 minute.
Well played, Liu. Simply too strong.
Cut to your backhand 啊，领先他，不要落后啊，落。
See, the contact from Liu Fei was heavy on the racket, meaning that it was float. Samara just not reading it, thinking it was going to be heavy backspin.
砍下去，把球送长就可以。
Third game. Players change side. Samara of Team Rossi to serve. Love all.
So that's been 2 sets played so far. And both female players march round to the other side of the table. Get a different look at this wonderful cavern.
1 love.
Better placement from the Romanian. Playing into the middle of the table. It's a great tactic against defenders, making them choose if they're going to play backhand or forehand defense.
Love 2.
What was funny there, when the ball went up high, Samara there actually twiddled. She changed the racket round. She must have one side a little bit faster than the other for herself to do that.
1-2.
Often players that have the Chinese rubber on their forehand, when they smash, they don't have enough power, so they need to change the racket round, twiddle it round to hit with the faster backhand rubber.
Or again, of course, since she has played the European Championships, feeling that the racket is good, she may not have changed her rubbers. Maybe the forehand rubber is just a little bit wear and tear over the past week.
Two, 3. Three all.
Quick fire there. Samara getting that ball where she wanted it. Just dropped the foot in a little bit and ripped that backhand. One of her trademark shots.
You can see though, just before that point was played, she pulled at her neck. When something like that is in your mind, you're a little bit wary to moving, to turning. Gotta wonder if that's having a greater effect than people think.
Three, 6.
Just taking that ball at the highest point. If you're going to do that, you've got to make sure your racket's nice and high, just above the ball, so that you don't top edge.
7-3.
Zero acceleration there.
Samara just a little bit flat in this third set. Roscoff on his feet, trying to get his player pumped up.
8-3.
And Team Rossi have seen this on many occasions so far. One of the players goes down to a heavy defeat, and that affects the whole team then.
Well, Liu Fei currently 2 games
9.
to 0 means that Team JJ has pulled away a 2-point cushion. Now, if the third set goes the way it's going currently, that will be 10-7.
That was one of the cruelest nets we've seen so far. Little smile from Samara.
Level 3, third game to Liu of Team JJ.
Very comprehensive scoreline from one of China's leading female table tennis players. Playing some good stuff. And I suppose if she was on the world rankings, I'm sure that she would be ranked between 7 and 8 and 20 in the world for sure.
Interesting to see that, of course, Liu Fei has been the replacement for Wu Yang, the other chopper that we have seen in T2.
Another very, very good chopper at that, winning some really, really good matches. Sometimes 4 and 5-0.
Of course, let's not forget Sun Yin Xia, the other replacement for Team JJ. All three players adding to the team score as well as their individual points total. This is hugely important for Samara, trying to get a point on the board. It's unlikely that she will come back from 3-0 down to win the match, but the team score does need a point on the board.
Left, 1, 2.
It's interesting to see the Team Rossi bench, Paul Drinkle and Jörg Roskopf in a deep discussion about something. Another world-class reloop there from the Liu racket.
Again, you guys at home will notice that Liu Fei does twiddle with her racket, meaning that she does have pimples on one side, being the red rubber.
Two, 4.
Very quick call there of timeout from Team Rossi. This is the moment now. He says, look, you've got to toughen up, Samara. We need something from you here. If it's not in this set, we need the next one, because we cannot have one of our players losing potentially 5-0, can we?
Take your time, it's
very, very tough. When you've got a player on your team that is that little bit stronger and can close out these games. All three Chinese replacements for Team JJ on the women's side has been a great importance and very difficult for the other teams. Samara really needing to get back into this set, currently trailing 5-2.
Just not
6,
able to
2.
penetrate the defensive skills there. Really good. Liu Fei just at that wonderful distance from the table that makes it difficult for someone to drop shot her and difficult for someone to penetrate the ball past her.
6,
But I
3.
think though that this matchup was a great tactic from Zhang Jiliang, knowing Samara has been playing the European Championships, putting her up against Liu Fei, the chopper, meaning she has to play
4-6.
more balls on the table. It is tough for her body, her neck, than if she were to play an attacking opponent.
Well said again. That's absolutely it. You've got to get your team order right,
5,
especially
6.
when it's just a bunch of real elite athletes out there. There's going to be one or two mismatches in style, perhaps. You've got to get out there and find those matchups.
Seven, 5.
And with just under 6 minutes on the clock, means that we could have another game or potentially 2 more games after this, as the first set was only 3 minutes and 35 seconds.
It is very tough when a defensive player attacks like that, because you are almost in a coma when someone attacks like that. It is very, very difficult to suddenly get out of that attacking mode into a blocking mode.
I know from previous experience of playing defensive players, you feel almost ashamed when a defensive player wins against you by attacking.
9.
But there's no shame, of course, when an attacker has a strong wing, as Liu Fei does in the forehand side.
5, 10.
Credit to Samara there, playing a little bit more aggressive, knowing she has to gritting through the pain. You can't ask for much more than that.
Level 6, first game to Liu of Team JJ.
Apologies on the screen, but it's saying match point. It's as good as match point, but it isn't match point because we can build on this. Liu Fei will be thinking, yep, I can get another set on the board for my team. And our lovely Team JJ captain, Zhang Jiliang, he's been there, he's done this, he's picked up the medals.
中等力量，低弧线，不是一种发实力的攻，想一反攻死人家，留有后手嘛，对吧？你还有削呢，对吧？正手发球学一学的转不转？
Liu Fei definitely looking
Samara
the more
of Team
relaxed
Rossi
of
to
the
serve.
two
Love
as
all.
they make their way back to the table for set number 5.
Big start needed now for the Romanian player.
1, love.
This isn't an individual match where you can just let it slip, move on to the next tournament. This is for your team. This is important. You have to somehow, even if you're going to need physio treatment for the next 2 or 3 days, you just got to man up.
For someone like Samara as well, ultra competitive, there's a big difference for her between losing 4-1 and losing 5-0.
2, 1.
Has she made a block yet against the attack?
It's very difficult when a defender turns into attacking because you don't have the rhythm when they're attacking all the time, so you don't really know where the ball's going to go.
1, 3.
Groskopf on his feet, urging Samara to get a point on the board to draw level from 3-1 down in the 5th set. And that will help.
2-3.
Nice execution of that big forehand to finish the point there. Managed to get the racket on top of the ball that time. See how far back the defensive skills are.
4-2.
But you can't make mistakes off your third ball when you're playing a defender. Got to get into the rally.
So with 90 seconds remaining in this 24-minute match, it's looking like Liu Fei is going to chalk up another heavy scoreline here in favour of Team JJ.
5-2.
Well, going into this match this afternoon, Team Rossi were 5 points behind Team JJ on the scoreboard. This is
2-6.
just further puts salt in the wound, opening up a longer and bigger gap. Interesting, speaking to your Groskopf at the end of round 3, where they defeated Team Maze.
2-7.
He said, "It is okay that we beat the #1 team, but they are too far ahead. We need to start winning against the 2 teams in front of us, Team Pearson and Team JJ."
Very similar to individually in table tennis. Quite easy sometimes to get a big win. It's beating guys at your own level.
7-3.
That's tough. That's the really tough thing to do. So 10 seconds left. Possibly the final point.
4-8.
Or not.
Well, there's a tile break, and that's
Time
that.
up. 4-8-4. Game and match to Liu of Team JJ.
A little bit of humour from Samara at the end is always nice to see from your opponent. After suffering a 5-0 defeat, it's now down to the last men's match and women's match up. And next up we have Dmitry Ovtrov versus Harimoto by process of elimination.
It's a shame. It's a shame for Harimoto. I suppose that he's coming on just knowing that any sort of win will do it for him. He wanted to come on and really crunch home the win. Doesn't need to do that now though.
It'll be interesting though if your Groskopf expected along the way that there would be a defeat somewhere in the game, that he held his own German player Dmitry Ovtrov back until the last men's match, knowing under pressure this guy steps up.
And we'll see. Anyway, congratulations to Liu Fei there, winning convincingly 5-0.